No, we're not doing that drop. Hello everyone, good evening, good morning, good midday, whatever it is in your particular time zone. Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. It's definitely been a while. Yes, slow mode is on in chat. Just for my own protection. It's gone wrong a few times. I have no idea if Nightbot is there today, but whatever. Okay. Let's see, what are we doing today? Today we are checking out the, well, we're not reviewing it. The Anet E10. Gearbest sent me this one again, as Gearbest kind of likes to do. Sometimes they take months to ship me stuff. Sometimes they just send stuff unannounced. This was one of the printers that was sent unannounced. They were like, hey, yeah, we shipped it out. There you go. So I originally didn't want it, but since there was quite a good resonance on Twitter on the poll, and I decided I wanted to do this one instead of the A8, the Anet A8 today, because the A8 is, you know, that one's kind of a dead beaten horse. Is that the saying? Yeah, but this one is a bit fresher. And yeah, today is going to be the unboxing. I'm going to take it physically out of the box. I'm going to put it together, and we are trying to get it to work. It's not a review. It's not a comprehensive review. That is going to follow at a later date, maybe. So today is just the unfiltered, unbiased, as unbiased as one can be. First impressions live. No, you know, no scripting, no nothing, a bit of preparation, no preparation, but yeah, that's what you're gonna get today. Let's have the shoes matching the shirt. No, I don't. Right. Preston hates this printer. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it performs. So let's check out what the ad for this printer says on Gearbest. Again, this is from Gearbest if you want to grab one. They are $2.95, but let's check that out on the site. By the way, you guys are, there it is. You guys are seeing the 100K play button right there. That is, I kind of like that thing. I think it's cute. All right, that is not what I wanted to show. That is what I wanted to show. So, Anet E10 aluminum frame. So if you're saying this is not a CR10 ripoff, then come on. If this doesn't look like a CR10 to you, then I don't know what does. It is a bit smaller. It is using round rails on the bottom right there, and it is a bit cheaper. It's $2.95 right now with 20% off. In euros, that is, let's see, $2.50 or something, and that is shipped. So that is free shipping worldwide. $2.51. For some reason, the UK one isn't on sale. That one is significantly more expensive, but there's also a 12% discount code on for anything on Gearbest that isn't already discounted in the description. So whenever it's not on sale, you can use that. Okay, they are, you know, that's the entire description right there. It's no, you know, flowery ad text. Yeah, it's got a heated bed. Product forming size is 220 by 270 by 300, so that is quite a bit smaller than the CR10 already, which is 300 by 300 by 400. So it's a lot smaller. It still looks large on the pictures. So a distinctive 3D printer, fashionable, easy, and classy. Large printing size, yeah, integral construction, and 5 technological reformation. As usual, you kind of have to go along with that. That's good. That's just the theme with these Far East printers. It's just, well, yeah. That's just what you're gonna get. Rapid assembly. So assembly-wise, I wasn't actually sure what I was gonna get. So far, my information has been pointing me towards this being a full kit. So all the individual parts unassembled, like every single screw washer. Let's actually turn you off because you're gonna buzz my pants off today. All the individual parts unassembled, screws, washers, all in their own baggies. But it is not. It is just as assembled as the CR10, which we're gonna see in a second. LCD screen, low noise. So apparently this that's not a Western couple, is it? That you won't be disturbed when printing. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. So it has an air blower on the carriage. It has the extrusion nozzle, material. I mean, this all looks pretty familiar, right? This is pretty much standard fare. So yeah, let's dig in. So flash sale, $251, including a spool of filament. What? Well, 251 euros. I might have put the wrong link. I'll check it. I'll check that out after the video or the stream today. So, as usual, I would like to apologize for this camera above. This is just a cheapo webcam. This isn't anything special. I might plop up one of my G7s up there now that I have a GH5 that I'm filming the front view with. So we get a BuildTech-like sticker for the bed. 3M, yeah, genuine 3M right there. Is this the... This is... Okay, so that's an assembly manual. Picture 1 is the chassis and picture 2 is the vertical frame. Okay, that should be a fairly quick assembly. This is laser copied. We get... Wow, you cannot see these. Okay, I'm going to put these over here so we have a background. 2 10-meter coils of PLA. There's not a lot of filament you're getting here. And yeah, there it is. Oh, I missed a super chat. Greg Spruce, thanks for that. Let's get the super chat ball rolling. First time live. Welcome. Too many more times that I'm going to see you around these parts. So a spatula. This is a sharpened. It has the sharpened edge on it, but it's not sharp. It might just slide under your prints, which is, you know, it's better than the flat ones. Should I take out the frame? Let's start. Okay, can't get at these, but there's a small accessories box right there. So a bit of, is this a Bowden? We'll see. No, it is a Bowden, so this must be the Bowden tube. A few hex keys, spare parts. We'll see about that if these screws are actually spare or if you're going to use them to assemble the frame. Then a small Phillips screwdriver, a micro SD card plus card reader, USB cord, and a few zip ties. That is decent. So let's check it out. This is the base frame right there. Let's check it out from below. So you get a PCB heater, which is an aluminum PCB. Ooh, this spring doesn't look happy. But yeah, aluminum PCB about 3 millimeters thick, I'd say. And this is, it looks reasonably flat. That is good. You're getting, so the belt is zip tied here. Encased LMADU bearings on, this is an 8 millimeter rod, right? Might be a 10, no, it's an 8. 8 millimeter rods, so it's not the stiffest bed assembly for the bed. It shouldn't actually matter. So yeah, a few adjustment screws on the side, and that is it for the subframe. And then of course on the side here we have the T-brackets where we're gonna attach the vertical truss. And it already is, you know, it already feels a lot lighter than the CR10. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if it's actually as stiff, as rigid as the CR10, which is a really beefy machine, even though it doesn't look like it. What? All right, control box. This is huge for the small printer. I think it might be a bit larger than the CR10s and some other printers. But yeah, control box, typical sheet metal box. You can see the supply inside, which is a 12 volt 20 amp supply that's in the bottom right there. So 240 watts, which is pretty typical. Switch on the back, IEC with a fuse, which doesn't really matter if you have the power supply in there anyways. So that is the Hotend. That what? Well, let me get you guys a close-up of this. That so this could potentially be a big cause of issues. Okay, let's see. So we have the box right there. We have the cords on the back, and then we have the shroud. So this is the air blower shroud, as we've just learned from the from the ad on Gearbest. So we have the Hotend cooling fan, which is this one right there. Anet, oh, that's an Anet branded fan. Then we have the part cooling fan right there on the side. And then we have the heater cartridge and thermistor separate from the rest of the assembly. I'm hoping this camera focuses. It doesn't want to. Okay. Then we have the heater cartridge and thermistor separate. So that's going to be something for the customer to install. If you misinstall these, if you don't get the thermistor in correctly, that might cause you a bit of headache, especially knowing how well these firmwares are configured usually. So yeah, we're gonna see how well it handles that and how well the assembly is described. Yes, I know this is too white. We have a power cord, standard fare. Another YouTuber jumped on the Gearbest train. Well, you do kind of have to balance it out. There are a lot of YouTubers that I'm seeing that are just, hey, yeah, this is this newest thing from Gearbest. This is nice. This is good. Buy it at my affiliate link. I feel like I can kind of balance it out. So yeah, why not look at it? This is actually quite interesting. So this is the spool mount. By the way, is this the real Mr. Dutch filaments right there? So spool mount, 3D printed part actually, fully with the printed thread and the printed nuts. This is I don't know what I should think about this, but the way it's printed, it might snap off eventually because the layers are printed like this. So if you have a spool on there, it might just go crack at some point. Aluminum bracket right there. We'll see. And there is the upper frame. So one thing I keep seeing being complained about with the CR10 is that it only has a single Z-axis spindle, which I honestly don't think is an issue because of the way it's built, yada yada yada. It actually works out pretty well without the second spindle. This one just has two motors. So okay, these are loose. Interesting. Let's see if the manual tells me to tighten them up. It's gonna be interesting. So this one has the two spindles. These have guide bearings on top, which I'm not a huge fan of. Brass nuts, so no anti-backlash bit for the Z-axis, you don't really need it. And another one of the high pitch ones, which is good because it's going to make the Z-axis move really, really quickly. So, ooh, what? Holy scheiße, what is this? What the hell is this? What the... You see that? You see what I'm seeing? Okay. Let's talk about linear guidance for a second. Okay. So these are these profiles that these wheels ride in typically. This one is loose. Okay. These profiles that these wheels ride in typically are V-slots. So they have a V-shaped slot in there. Do you have a piece of V-slot somewhere? Nah, I don't think so. But you can look it up. You can look at how these are shaped typically, and you have V-shaped wheels that ride perfectly in these grooves. This one uses just the standard run-of-the-mill T-slot, which has this lip right there, this sharp edge. You can actually see it on this side somewhat. This is actually quite a profiled sharp edge, and you can already see it kind of rubbing onto the wheel. You can see just a bit of an indent right there on the wheel. So this wheel is not riding happily in a groove that it's made for. It is it's just riding on the standard T-slot right there. So the contact surface between this and the aluminum profile is really tiny, and this is going to wear in. I guarantee you this is going to wear in. So I don't know, I'll try to tighten it up right now, but I'd say after maybe like 10 or 20 prints or so, you are going to have to retighten it. And then for the next 200 prints, probably you will need to just slowly keep retightening these until they are worn in fully. And yeah, we will need to adjust these because this is like sloppy as all hell. So let's see, Hotend right there. Almost smashed it. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Hotend right there. That looks like some standard, I don't know, extruded aluminum. Oh, this is turned. Is it? I don't know. Standard Hotend, standard block, standard everything. No heat break to speak of, just a threaded rod with a bore through it. So not the greatest thermal design. It might jam with PLA. It might need some extra help to run reliably. We shall see. So yeah. Cool. Let me take a quick look at chat. Yeah. All right. So that's that. Yeah. So what they're doing here too, which, check this out. Right there, this bolt right here, this is essential to these frames being rigid, because what it does is, yeah, it connects this beam right here to this one in a very rigid fashion. So it butts up this cut edge to this profile, and that just creates a very rigid and tight connection right there. So yeah, that is good, and it looks like it's going to, yeah, at least use one screw to connect. Which way do I tilt it? This way. To connect the base to the top as well. Okay, let's see, there's a grub screw in here, which is not a good sign. One grub screw. I don't know where that came from, but it looks like they didn't use Loctite at the factory. So let's see, nothing else in here. Okay, that is the unboxing done. So far, as expected, a few questionable design choices. As expected. Not sponsored by Volt Cola, by the way. Okay, we shall start with this, the E10 manual. Oh, I love that wide angle. You can just move things so much larger into frame by extending your arm. It's great. Where do you show this on? Does this pick it up? Somewhat, but I don't think you guys are going to be able to read it. Okay. Oh, that. Oof, excuse me. There's a yeah, a lot of fizz in there. Please keep 3D printer away from water. Please use 3D printer in an open and well and ventilated environment. Yeah, high-speed working parts. In case of emergency, please turn off the power of the 3D printer directly. So, 211221. Okay. Let's see. So they are labeling the sides of this frame 1 and 2. So I guess I'm just going to position it like in the manual. So this is 1, this is 2, and then the side with the motor here is 1, and that's 2. So 1, 1, 1 right there. That's the end stop. So this one goes on like this then. Okay. Do I cut the zip ties? Maybe? Should I? I guess I should. The manual doesn't say so, but I guess I should. I'm gonna keep this grub screw right over here. Align the screws to be vertical. So I'm gonna align the nuts to be vertical. These right here, these hammer nuts, as they are referred to. My camera is dropping. You cannot see this, but you can see this one. So these T-brackets, right here, end stop on them, and 2 of the hammer nuts. These two are vertical, these are as well. And then you just drop on the frame like so. Okay, these motors are worryingly loose.
Smile.
Okay, this side's sliding on, this side is not sliding on so well because the nut keeps twisting. Come on. Why don't you go in? Oh, and the motor is also getting caught on the bed because its connector is, come on, extending too far. Is there anything in this profile that's blocking this? Okay, now it's tightened up. Don't want to tighten it up. How can this be so hard? There we go, there's one, there's two, perfect. Okay, looking like a CR10 already. Align screw to be vertical, please insert the vertical frame please insert it correctly into the chassis. I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna insert it incorrectly. Be aware if the vertical frame is not attached to the chassis firmly at this moment, please do not turn the frame around. Okay. Please mount M6 by 20 screws on the left and right side from the bottom and tighten up. So we're gonna go into our spares, and yeah, as expected, these screws are not spares, these are screws that you actually need. So M6 by 20, M6 by 20, perfect. These. What's the build volume? Then the build volume is 220 by 270 by 300, so it is quite a bit smaller than the CO10, but it is a bit larger than the original Prusa and most other i3 style machines, which are like 200 something, typically rated at 200 by 200 by 200. So this supposedly just screws in from the bottom, if I can catch the thread. Yes, that feels good. Yeah. Let's tighten it up real well. There we go. Yeah, I mean, if I've got the energy to do an Anet build, then yeah, I think I am. I'm Will. Chad is telling me to do things already. Again, let me just put this straight. It's same rules for all printers. I'm gonna follow the manufacturer's manual. Because, I mean, I'm going to build the Anet E10. I'm not going to build the Community Edition Anet E10. I'm going to build the Anet E10. Just like I've built every other 3D printer by the instructions given. Because what is the point of building a printer outside of spec or differently to how you're supposed to? And then judging it based on that. Okay, so that's tightened up. Audio is getting out of sync. I hope it's not. Refresh the page maybe. Might be the YouTube player. Check donations. Niels, well, thanks for the $10, and Gert Lindstrom's also. Thank you for the $10. Did that not have a jingle and text to speech? I don't know. Okay. Let's see. So this is, again, without the T brackets even tightened up. This is fairly rigid again, so I'm pushing quite hard here. These top brackets are also not super tight. This way, yeah, decent. This way also very, very stiff. So that's good. That is good. Let's see. Beware the vertical frame is not attached yet. Okay, please mount Am I not going to tighten these up? No. I am not going to tighten these up. Interesting. That is a very interesting manual, because it's you screw down these bottom screws, which are the most important ones, but these on the side here don't matter. Don't worry about them. Just move on to electronics. Like, yeah. Manual on SD card. This is manual. Let's see how far we get here. So, chassis is done. Page 1 is done. Mounted vertical frame. Let's install the box right there. This feels like it's ABS. Okay. M4x10, so that's again the screws from the spares bag. Joel's here? What? Chat is going by too fast. There we go. Hey there. Yeah, YouTube player is kind of bugging out at times. So M4x10, and this one goes in like so, facing, okay, facing left. Okay. So yeah, again, I will just try and see how far I can get with this, because I know like the Z motors right here, they are super wobbly. I can shift them around. This left one you might be able to see. This one moves around quite a bit. Also these brackets aren't tightened up. There's a lot of stuff that's apparently not addressed in the manual. I'll just see how far I can get, and that's gonna be like the, yeah, you probably made it this far if you didn't have a chat with, how many people do we have in chat? With almost 1,000 people, you know, couch assembling this thing. So, yeah. Towards the front, okay. Like that, and then we get a spool mount right there. So, okay, so this one you can kind of tighten up, and this one stays in place. Plus, if the spool moves, which way does the spool move? This way or that way? Might be either. So I'm guessing you should have it feeding from the top, so this nut doesn't untighten itself. Okay. Please install filament holder rod. Done that. Please tighten up the M4x8 screws on the two sides, then tighten the black jack screw up after the installation of heating tube and thermistor. Mister? Okay. So let's see, is there a screw in here? There is not. Okay, that might be our missing grub screw. That most definitely is our missing grub screw. Are they including a small 1.5mm hex? Yes, they are. So this one, and come on, I'm not going to put Loctite on, not going to put Loctite on this one's too short. I'm not going to put Loctite on this one because it's getting kind of hot, and you don't want a cyanoacrylate based adhesive getting hot. First print with my new filament. There's some in the back here. Right there, just some sample prints. Can you? There you go. That's the stack of all the prototype spools. I have one more somewhere of that filament. So that grub screw is in. Let's see. So Someone already mentioned, oh, the E10 fan, or the Anet fanboys with their affiliate link are gonna come for you. Well, there's that sort of fanboy group for every machine now. Whatever. No fear. So there's our sleeved wire, which is nice, by the way, just having this nylon mesh sleeve on all the wires. That's nice to see. It's also going to be interesting to see if this has any sort of strain relief. But let's see. Okay, which way does this fit in? So fan towards the front, but then towards the bottom. How does this? So I'm guessing like that, right? Yeah, that looks about right. There's still the zip tie on the belt. This one is just sliding in right there, and okay, the thermistor is going in the right hole all by itself without any sort of convincing. Come on, come on, the little camera that could. Yeah, so in the back here, which you cannot see, great. There, you can maybe kind of see that. It's just the tiny hole behind the... Jeez. Yes! Okay. Still can't see it. Okay. Hole for the heater cartridge, tiny hole for the thermistor, and then a grub screw hole that holds this this M6 threaded rod in place, and this thing just slides in, and the thermistor automatically plops into its little hole. Let's just hope it stays there in the long run, because if that pops out, I'm not sure if they've configured the firmware to a point where it actually shuts off the heater and doesn't just keep heating. So if this hex key was actually just, you know, if it was just 5 millimeters longer, I could spin it. I could spin it around here, but as it stands, I'm not getting past this pneumatic coupler. So let's just see if I have a longer one. I'm pretty sure I have somewhere. That's not longer. Yeah, I think I have those next door. Or, bingo. So if you just use a longer hex key right there, that is just so much more comfortable instantly. And oh, we just needed a quarter turn. Okay. So grub screw for the yeah. Ooh, shit. Didn't want to do that. Grub screw for the heater cartridge is in this Hotend. Apparently it doesn't have anything that locks it in place, because it just, you know, just from that torque it turned a bit. Let's see. Okay, so like that. Okay, we can't mount it, the bed is in the way, kinda. So this goes in here. I wonder when the thermistor wires actually snap. So this goes here, that goes there. Come on. There's one wire from the, there we go, from the heater cartridge that didn't want to go in. So this is on. Perfect. And then we're going to use the two tiny M3 screws to fix that in place. Cool. Yeah, so reading through the FAQ on Gearbest, there is a bit of information about this printer. So, why is this not catching? We're off. It is using the same board as the Anet E10 and E6. Apparently, those use the same. Those use an identical board. This one uses the same board. If the screw would catch, come on, how hard can it be? The E10 uses the same board as the A6, A8, etc., but a different firmware as expected, so at least the firmware configuration is different, but the hardware, the electronics, etc. are going to be identical with all its strengths and flaws. So I'm not expecting this to have the most high quality board. Though I am at least expecting like the wiring job to be somewhat decent, like at least crimped ends on the wires, etc. Like basic decency. I'm not going to take it apart today. I'm not going to look inside the electronics box today, but someday I will. Okay, this is, you can see this wheel back here. This is not tight. Vertical rails are not parallel. What? What vertical rails? What are you talking about, dude? Manual doesn't say anything about that. So we still have quite a few wires that need to be plugged in somewhere. We have the shroud, fan cover is on. X-axis limit switch. These are labeled, okay. Y-axis limit switch, so this goes to the back of this guy right there somewhere. We have the lift Z-axis, so that goes there. Hotbed, and you must be right Z-axis, so this must be the X-axis. You're right. So I suppose just plug everything in. I'm telling you which wire goes where, so black wire goes to this one, red wire goes to this one. Doesn't matter as long as you're using the two right pins, the two correct pins. Extruder motor, I'm just going to assume that is like common knowledge that this is the extruder. Extruder motor, X-axis motor, which is this guy. End stop, these are small 2-point-something millimeter crimp lugs. Let's see, where are you? Must be somewhere around here, right. And this just plugs in on the side with the hinge. So that's quite a tight fit right there. So yeah, that's the end stop right there. Clicks, and you're supposed to, I think you're, are you though? Yes, you are. Okay, so this one goes down here, which is kind of close to this screw right there, but it does slide on, and then this one goes to the center one. Leaflet is still a manual. Well, if it told me, hey, check out the SD card, there's a full manual on there. You know, I'm trying to replicate what a typical customer might see. They're gonna get a paper, something that literally says manual on there in all caps, that says E10 manual. They're gonna take this, they're gonna say, yeah, okay, here's my manual, this is all I need to do. If, you know, first page you open up says, hey, yeah, there's an SD card, put it in the reader, put it in your PC, there's a PDF with all the steps. If that was the case, I'd be doing that. But this is what the customer sees. There is no mention of a manual on the webpage on Gearbest, as far as I can tell. There's no mention of an extended manual. So this is what I'm following right now, and we're just gonna see how far we get. Right? Okay. Cool. I'm hoping that's clear. So, plug everything in. Okay, I'm just going to plug everything in. And that's the end of the manual, which is not the end of the assembly. So we can't move the bed yet. We can't move the bed yet because there's still a zip tie on here. We can't move the X-axis yet. That still needs to be cut loose. I can't imagine someone just going, yeah, okay, let's turn this on. Let's try and move. And they will have a bad time because it will not move. And the motors are going to be loose, etc., etc. Right, Z-axis. So I cannot plug these in yet because I need to move the bed out of the way. The Y-axis, that one I can plug in. If these pins weren't bent, and then a motor that is down here. Right, and this is left Z-axis. So these two Z-axis cables we cannot plug in yet. Let's see. Intruder motor. The screen does not display confirm the printer. So this is just a quick troubleshooting right there. If that is all the troubleshooting you need, you're freaking Jesus. Because at this point, let's see, axes don't move. Nothing. Okay, so at this point, the manual's over, but you're not done. You're clearly not done. So far, manual, not even a 5 out of 7. Not even close. So let's see if the SD card has any treasures for us. Yes, I will do more CNC videos. I will finish up the CNC at some point. So, blue card reader, blue plug, not USB 3. I can guarantee that much. We are getting a 8 GB. That's as no name as I've ever seen it. We're getting an 8 GB card. Yep. Nope. Yes. Nope. Come on. Maybe. Yes. Barely. 8 GB. Okay, that took way longer than I expected. 8 GB card. No manufacturer, no nothing. No idea if it's actually 8 GB. But there's only one way to find out. And that is to test it. Always test your no-name cards. Let's see, where do we have a USB plug? That hub is full. That hub might have one. Yes, just one left. If some camera starts crapping out, that's the reader. So there is no SD to micro SD included, but whatever. Let's see, drive. Windows Explorer. Please, yes, okay. Data, no, USB, that's the one. English instructions, okay, well, that's easy enough. Assembly and operation guide video, installation, print model STL. Ooh, printed parts. Ooh, yeah, so I guess one thing to mention here is that I don't know how the A8 etc. fare there, but this one's using quite a few printed parts, at least, you know, at first glance. So these rod holders right here, these are just straight up printed parts. There we go. These top stabilizer bearing guides, which I might take off, these are also printed. This bracket right here for the spool mount is also printed. And anything else? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so you do get the STLs, which is nice. Doesn't look like there's a model of the entire printer though. Box. Oh, that looks exciting. STL and my netfab doesn't want to play along. Okay, software, we're getting the driver for the serial to, or USB to serial, we're getting Cura 14.07. Wow, that's ancient. And the node repeater host. So, assembly and operation video. Does that have audio? Okay, he's dinging the connector as well. There is no audio in this. Okay, we did that. We screwed that together. Yes, other side too. Where's the fast forward? What did he do? So okay, here he tightens up the brackets. Okay, that's good. Tightens up that, plugs that in. Yeah, what? What is that? Whoa. What did he just screw in? What is he screwing together there? There's nothing here. White gloves, yeah, I need those white gloves. I have black and nitro gloves. The examiner gloves. Maybe I should have worn those for this one. End stop, right. I'm just gonna put this to the side for now. And shit. Browse on the other screen. Operation print quality troubleshooting guide. Ooh, that sounds juicy. Hey, get out of here. I would grab that. Yes, I would grab that by the connector. Okay, then plug in power, and we're already at. Oh, and now we have audio. No more audio. Okay. Okay, and that's just basic operation. DC, get out of my face. So these are that's the troubleshooting guide. What are these blocks right there? Are we missing a font? Installation guide. Let's start with that and just see if that is what we were looking for. So yes, I know. Can we just, do I have to click this to just get the banner out? Yeah, okay. Please check it. Well, we're way past that. We are way past checking the package. Thanks for the $10 to your print creator, much appreciated. And I also missed a tip from Technology, €5. Thank you for the happy building. I'm still wondering why my jingles don't work. I don't know. Before sticking, yes, we're gonna do that. Please contact your supplier. Yes, sticking, assembly parts, part name, pick 1, pick 2. Okay, so that's M4x9 screws are tightened up already. What? Are tightened up already? These two? Wait. These two right there? These should be no. These are not tightened up already. That would be wrong. Okay. It's not attached to the chassis, yes. What? Loosen? Okay. Loosen now and then okay, that is good instructions for tightening these, because it can be difficult to tighten down these hammer nuts without just locking them against the plates and not against the aluminum profile. Okay, so that we need to do. Before, after, yes. Don't screw out the screws. Yes, good tips. Attach that. So what exactly are they attaching there? Put the wires in the U-groove. Okay, we figured that out. Okay, so that's the fan shroud. Screw on R-clip. Ah, that's strain relief. That's cool. But the way they're picturing it here, that is way too tight. That's not going to allow you to move anything. And limit switches. Hotbed, yes. Connect wires, fan cover, finished product. Okay, that's better. So what we just saw, that was better than the printed manual, better than what we got here, but that's still no complete manual. The motors are still loose, etc. So let's do the right thing and you know, ignore the manual. So these come off. These hold everything in place during shipping. So now we might be able to move something. Where are you? Oh, that's a problem. That is a definitive problem. So how did the guy in the video assemble it like this? What the hell? Check this out. So someone already mentioned in chat that you should rotate these motor connectors. I see why. I now 100% see why. So that's the motor connector back here. This is the Z-axis motor, and that's just the little, where is it? There, that's the little adjustment nub for the bed. So as the bed moves back, can you hear that? Oh yeah, that is the sound of that nut rubbing against the connector. What the hell? Why would you design it like this? And why would you assemble it like this? Yeah, thanks for attaching 10 bucks to that. I got the message. I now did. Dear Manuel, dear Anet, this is stupid. See this? I mean, on that side, it's not even that bad. It's even riding over the connector, but on the other side, it's just right in front of the connector. Like what? Okay. So far, so good, I want to say, but that would be a lie. What's the plastic under the bed, under the nozzle? This? That's just a piece of the zip tie. That is just a cutoff. So we shall rotate the motors, I guess. Again, comparing it to the CR10, which I shouldn't, I know, but comparing it to the CR10 again, the CR10 was better assembly-wise. I wasn't expecting much of the CR10 either, but it was delivering much more. So this should lift off now. No, it doesn't, because because these guys are in the way. So either I disassemble the entire axis again, or I take off the stabilizers. I guess it's 2 screws for the... Yeah, 2 screws for the entire truss to take off. That should be faster. Grab the CR10 instead. Yeah, there is a reason why there's 2 links in the description. If you feel like getting the E10 or getting the CR10. I mean, I'm sure Gearbest doesn't care which one you buy. As long as you buy one of those 2, they're happy. And so far, from what I've seen from the CR10, it's actually, I mean, for the price, you're actually getting a lot of your money. You're still getting a Chinese printer, but you're getting a lot of value out of those, you know, slightly more expensive pesos than what you're getting here so far. Okay. Let's see if I can get at this somehow. Oh yeah, it's conveniently, it is loose. So, well. Somebody thought ahead. So these Phillips head screws, they are not tightened down, so I can just pull these out. Yay, it makes undoing this thing much easier. I wonder if that's intentional. Oop. Okay, well this one's coming out, the other one might not. Let's see, I was already feeling the screws slipping. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Okay, this hex key is rounded over, which is the one that came with the printer. Does the other end still work? Nope. Okay, this hex key is rounded over on both ends now. Which is not good, because it kind of means... So, hex key that it came with, screw that it's supposed to undo, right there, does not undo it. I need a 2mm hex key. That's the one size my hex key set does not have. think I might have some cheaper ones over here. I'm definitely not going to be reusing that screw though. I'm just going to put in some other shorter screw if I find one around. Nope. Nope. Okay. That screw is not coming out. That screw is definitely not coming out. Patrick Engel is asking, is there any way to contact me? If you would like to schedule a consulting session, then sure, send me an email, anything@toms3d.org. But I can't do one-on-one support for free. I mean, if it's not obvious. So yeah, with this build, bit of a problem. This screw is not coming out. This is just a crap metal apparently that strips really easily, so Hex keys don't do anything. And this bracket is not coming off. If we don't get this bracket off, if we don't remove this and rotate it to the other side, then we can't assemble the rest. So put a Torx in it, someone's suggesting. Ooh, could a T10 fit? Will a T10 fit? Find out next time. No, just kidding. That could fit, but it might also ruin the Torx, but these are cheap, thankfully. Let me get that hammer. Let me get that hammer real quick. We're gonna need it one way or another. T10. I don't have any Torx wrenches. Oh, that might go in. Yeah, it's looking like it's forming something already. Bit of a T-star. Rubber band trick? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't even work on regular screws. Ram a flathead screwdriver in it. I'm just gonna drill out the screw head if this doesn't work. So gear 1. Yes, but that does work. That does work. So you, my dear screw, is supposedly a 10.9. So this is a high tensile screw. High tensile my ass. Okay. This was on like this. You can see the oil from manufacturing. We're going to put it on like so. We're just going to flip it around. There are some spare parts. There are none of the smallish M3 screws right there. I'm just going to grab a fresh stainless one. Screw, where are you? It's M2. Long ones. I thought I had like a full pack of like tiny 6mm long M3 screws somewhere. Yeah, the issue is always these somewhere. They are never. We're going to be looking for them. That's one. Oh, I have more of those crap screws. Oh yeah, cool. I don't know where those came from, but they're gonna fit. Okay, let's just grab this one as well. Okay. Screws. Oh, that's not an M3 I'm looking for. So we have two of the where are you? There. Two of the, what are these called? Mushroom head, pan head, whatever, hex ones, and two, or mini hex, and two of the regular hex screws right there. So let's try this with, it should be the exact same screw, yeah. Oh, if it's not a, I'm hoping it's not an imperial size. And you go bye-bye. Cool. Now, which of these hex keys is still good? This one is. So the 10.9 marking on the screw, I don't believe that. I definitely don't believe that. By how easily that's stripped. Yeah. Cheated with Google Translate. Yeah, so there are a few Google Translate versions of clone. The one I dropped in there, I have no idea if it's the right one. Just, I mean, anyone speaking Chinese or being a native Chinese speaker, please excuse me if I screwed that up, but I'm not the only one screwing up things today. Anet's doing their part as well. So let's grab the other one right there. You should come out. Did I not undo you yet? I thought I had. Monoprice mini select probably is a there we go. That's probably a 12-volt system, I believe. Let's not mix these up. Okay, let's be strong. Yes. There's one. And there's two. Okay, those came out much nicer. Can we review a Maker Gear M3 one day? Maybe, but right now, as it looks like, I kind of want to get away from reviews because there is so much work. They always get me a ton of flack from people that are like, "Oh, you're paid," and people don't watch them. People watch guides much more than they watch reviews, and I personally also think that guides are more valuable than reviews. So I am trying to shift my focus a bit away from reviews and back towards guides more. Even though the reviews pay better, of course. Affiliate programs, sure, I mean, definitely. But I don't think people on Patreon are supporting me for making reviews only. I think that the guides are just much more valuable to everyone. So, maybe not. Philips 2. Just to be safe, I'm going to be using the Vera laser tip titanium nitrate. No, what is it? Yeah, TIN tipped laser edged tip to screw these down. I don't want to strip out these Phillips screws, and I trust this screwdriver will not do that. But well, okay, you need to go to hook. Does that hook? Yes. I guess I will need to finally position these once it's on the frame. So yeah, just roughly positioned for now. Where do I have to actually push? Right there. Yeah, the thing is, so many manufacturers want me to review their stuff and just send me stuff because obviously it is marketing, it's advertising for them. And to a certain extent, I do enjoy testing stuff, but it may, you know, it does get overwhelming at times. And again, reviews are just so much work for me. This did not grab. Isn't the Tivo Tarantula better than this? Funny you ask. Gearbest actually also sent me one of those without asking. So that's in and out of the box. I mean, let me know what you guys think here, because what I'm thinking is I kind of like live videos. They're okay. Live stuff like this is effort wise, this is okay. This is doable, because it literally just takes me all the time to prepare, the time to set up everything, and then only the time that I actually spend in front of a camera, and that kind of is a one-to-one. That shouldn't be loose. Yeah, but live stuff is kind of a one-to-one thing. If I'm doing a 14-hour live stream, that will literally only have taken me like 16 hours to do completely, from start to finish. If I do a 14-minute video, that's going to be a week of work with preparing and scripting and shooting B-roll and editing and all that. So like a long review for me, the way I want to do them, like properly, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time that gets eaten up. So what I might do is just literally limit this way, limit reviews to live builds, because it does give you a bit of an idea of what to expect. It does teach you about a few of the ins and outs, and it doesn't take up as much of my time. So let me know what you think about that. Like if we turn these live builds into a bit more of a review, I don't know, live reviews, maybe like live Q&A sessions on a machine. That could, I guess that could work. Just do a scheduled thing where everyone can come in and just ask away, and I'll answer the questions for an hour, maybe half an hour, I don't know. So yeah, I guess the Q&A format, that can work well, and it's less work, it's less scripted, it's much less effort on my side, and the guides I can then spend the time on and you know, really get into and really prepare and get done well. Because if you look at what videos people are actually watching today, if you're looking at the view minutes, hours, whatever it is, it's the guys that like consistently are up there. That's what people know me for. That's what people are actually watching. The reviews are like, whoop, that's when the thing comes out, and then it's a and it's gone a week after. So yeah, I don't know. Just a thought. Need more caffeine definitely to work this stuff out. Yeah, I should have my own company. What do you mean? This might have been twisted a bit. In the process, maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Famous last words. So that's there. Let's tighten up these side braces right there, these guys. And that's the wrong key. Let's use this one. So these have the hammer nuts below them, so you undo them a bit. These were tight against the profile, then you retighten them and you can actually see it flip on the inside there. I could, you probably couldn't. That might be okay. I think it is. Watch for the blue smoke. Well, we definitely will. One of the concerns I'm having right now for long-term durability, which of course you can't really test in a review. A review might be, I don't know, if it's 100 hours of printing, it's already good. But if it's any shorter, you're not going to run into like long-term reliability things. What I can definitely see is this connector right here. This doesn't have any sort of a strain relief. So these these wires, they are going to break. They're definitely going to break sooner or later. There's just no, no guidance, no strain relief whatsoever. The same for this one. The same. Well, this one is kind of okay because they're bundled up. But all these moving axes, the y-axis usually, or the z-axis usually isn't that bad because it just moves very infrequently. But things like the bed right there and the x-axis, those are just points that frequently break if they don't have any sort of strain relief. Ian van de Jagt. Van de Jagt. Huh. That a, what, Belgian? Dutch name? $5. His friend bought a printer off of my reviews. So you're saying reviews are helpful? Is that the message? I don't know. Thanks for the $5. Cool. That's done. We need to tighten up the motors finally back here. That is kind of tight. So you down. I'm gonna just butt it up against the, well, okay, the covers are cut here, so it does butt up against the aluminum profile, this one, and tighten you down. Okay, same on the other side. Cool, and then we can, there you go, push this down so it's, yep, it's seated well, and then tighten up the grub screws right there. Prevention is better than a cure. Again, I'm trying to modify as little as possible about the machines I review, because if I start modifying, it's not going to be an Anet E10 anymore. It's going to be your version of an Anet E10, but it's not going to be the E10 people get. And that's the only thing I can review. I'm not reviewing like open source community machines off of Thingiverse because everyone's going to build them differently. And I don't think it's fair to review a machine based on how you built it or how you modified it and how you made it better or worse with your choices. So yeah, the only thing I will review is something that, is reproducible, that you can buy like this and other people will get exactly like it as well. So yeah, no mods. As close to the manual as possible and as few mods as necessary. Okay, let's see, now we can plug in the z-axis. That's been a long while. Yeah, that sounds okay. I've heard worse. Now this one is, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do about this, because the official manual also does not mention anything. Ooh, did I just wreck the camera? Nope. Okay. I hate freaking micro HDMI. Like it's the invention of the devil. So, and auto, what? There. Nope. You see what I mean? It's blurry in the background, but these wheels are jumping around like all hell, and these belts look weird. What's up with those? Why are they so glossy? I'm just noticing this. These belts are super glossy. They do look like they have fibers inside, but they're just so shiny. Okay, might be some budget type of belt too. So yeah, this I'm not very happy about. Oh, and it's rocking up against these screws right there. Okay, so I'm guessing, yeah, it's not going to go any further anyways. Let's plug stuff in. Okay. This is the left. What is left? Left is this. Yes. The z-axis motors left and right shouldn't matter, but there's an end stop on one side, which is this guy right there. I will need to walk around this. Why camera? Why? What? Okay, you can kind of see the end stop. Right there. Can I? Yeah, kind of. So you connect the ones on this side. Is this loose? No. And I can't see what I'm doing, which is never a good thing. Also, I can't get at this. What was that? That sounded... That is definitely rough on the end there. What is rubbing? What the hell is rubbing like that? Oh, it's the... Okay, so that part of the bed is unusable. Oh, I'm going to show you in a second. This crimp connector is loose. Are we good? This one's holding. Okay, this connector is loose. Crimp connector is simply... What the hell did I do with these? It's simply not gripping, so we're going to compress it a bit more. There we go. It's going to hold. Okay, design flaw. See that blurry blob right there. Okay, so we have the bearing blocks, which is like reflective green, whatever. We have the adjustment nuts, and we have this block right here, which holds the 8mm rail. And it's kind of the same issue as with these motor connectors that were previously on the inside. These nuts don't belong there, because if we slide it over here and just slide them over this little block right there, first of all, that is very tight and very rough, but also this thing literally touches down and rubs over these blocks, and it actually lifts up the bed a tiny bit. Just look at the top surface right there. It kind of lifts it up, so whenever the bed passes over that that area right there, that's gonna like shift the entire thing around. It might actually physically move it back and forth. So I don't know what the deal is with these nuts, but they definitely do not belong on this printer. They do not belong on that printer right there. So effectively, you can actually, wow, you can already see them rubbing right there. You can already see the rub marks. See that right here? There's this whitish part. That's where this nut is rubbing off on the mount. So that is a very definitive design flaw. This one we didn't even plug in yet. Okay. The bed support is bent. No, yes, it is. You're correct. Who are you? Backplate is bent. It's bent. Focus. There's a bend. Okay, it's bent. Why is it bent? I see that. It is bent pretty badly back here. So since this is bent right there, it might actually have worked with the motors the other way around. The connectors might just have passed, so it is actually pretty badly bent, so that is just bad shipping, I guess. It's almost like 5mm down. The good thing is, because this is adjustable anyways, it doesn't need to be super precise, so we can literally just go like that and bend it back up and we're good. And yeah, that would have cleared the motor connectors easily. So flipping the motors, that was all for nothing. Yeah, that's better. Good thing this isn't any sort of high tensile aluminum. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. All smooth. The bed is bent towards the front. What? Yes, the base plate is fixed now. Oh wait, okay, I gotta scroll down. Ha, sorry. Yeah, now it is modded. That is correct. Now it is a modded machine. It's just, why? What? Okay, I'm not gonna question. Finished product, yes. Wires left, right. So the question is, what should we do with okay, this clip we still need to do. What should we do with this? Because this is, you can print like that, but you shouldn't. What is this clip they keep speaking of? Spare parts. We get a new heater block in the nozzle. Zip ties. There is no clip to speak of. Just joined. What's happening? Yeah. We are showcasing the typical Anet E10 build experience. I'm thinking this is typical. So, does the X carriage have eccentric nuts? No, it does not. It has a... How can I show this? Yep. Oh yeah, this one at the top that we found out is loose. Not gonna tighten it right now. So the X carriage, giving you zoomed in views of what matters. This button? No. Why does... Oh no, this button. What do my buttons do? That button. Yes. So, you can probably not see that because you need to look at it at the right angle. So these two are fixed up here. They are just using nylon spacers. You can see them in the back here. They are just screwed into fixed holes. This bottom one right here, it seems to have, yeah, you can just see the end right there. You can just see the end of that elongated hole right there above the tip of the screwdriver. So this one, it does not have a nut detention, but you simply undo this, you slide it up, you press it down, and then you retighten it. That is, well, interesting. What's the word? Improper. Definitely improper. So I could probably just push this back up and just slide it around in that hole, but I would need to take off this entire shroud up here. I would need to take off the entire shroud again. I'm just gonna try to print with it like that, okay? It might, you know, there's gravity, it's gonna push down on itself, it might have a bit of extra wobble. I'm just gonna try to print with it. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. I've printed with machines that were much looser than that, so. Right. This hammer is not needed anymore for now. Okay. Stuff is plugged in. Okay, so we need the Bowden tube right there. This, by the way, this has a few kinks in it. This isn't really straight, but we'll just try it. You can see it. You can even see it bouncing around on that camera. Bowden tube, by the way, just much too long. Way too long for what it needs to be. You could easily take off almost half of this, so or maybe a third, and still get away with it, because this extruder, the extruder back here, this moves, this rides up and down. Yeah, there. The extruder back here, this rides up and down with the entire x-axis, so you really never need to go any further than like from here to there, and that's fine. So that's, there you go. That's that. Now the question is this cable clip they keep talking about. I didn't see one of those, and supposedly this just fixes this wire from the extruder to the from the tool head to the extruder body right there. I've not found that clip. Either they didn't include it or I kind of threw it out somewhere. But I'm not seeing it. So, not going on right now. Michael Betz, thank you for the 15 euros. Thank you for your reviews and guides. Your forum is very helpful. That is the first time I heard that. If you guys didn't know, there is a discuss.toms3d.org forum, which is, it's just a forum. It's not my forum. I don't, you know, I'm not there often. It's not a forum about me. It's about you guys. A place to discuss neutrally without much moderation. Actually, there's very little modding going on. If you have anything to discuss, maybe check it out. Maybe there's something helpful on there. Now, of course, I missed the tip. I like to get some of your film in. Ha! You might, probably, maybe get some. Keep your eyes peeled on Patreon or on Dust Filament. There are plenty of ways to get some, and chances are you are going to get some anyways. So cool. Thank you. Too big. Bowden tube is too big of an inner diameter. Wow, it just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Filament. Let's get a clean edge on this. Too big of an inner diameter. Let's check it out. Let's just try it out. Okay. Bowden tube. Yeah, that is pretty loose. That is like really loose. Why though? So I'm not, it is going to, you know, run smoothly inside this this Bowden tube, but since it has so much slop, you can see it right there. Since it has so much slop, it's not going to retract precisely, and it will just ooze around. Okay, part of the printer. It still looks like a standard 4mm outer diameter, so you could switch it out if you wanted to. Actually, we're going to use this filament. We're going to use it's a fresh spool, yes. We're going to use the Infinity Blue, of course. So that's like one factor I can be sure that's going to work. Where do we feed? We feed right there. So typical extruder with a fairly loose idler lever. We have a gear, so no hobbed gear, just a standard pinion gear, and a grooved bearing on the other side that keeps it in place. Okay solution. Not fantastic, but okay. If it works, if it grips enough, then be my guest. Hey! Niels is here and spreading the word for the forum. Thank you. Just means you adjust retraction. No! You don't just adjust retraction, because that is a horrible fix for a problem you shouldn't be having. It's a kludge. It's like, you know, it's like driving with your brakes or with your handbrake pull and just going, oh yeah, just give it a bit more, you know, just give it a bit more throttle. It's going to be fine. It's the wrong way. Fix the problem, not the symptoms. Cool. Cut the tube short. Manual, dude. It's there for a reason. I'm not listening to random guys on the internet. So looks like we have this thing done. Should we turn it on? Please contact your supplier if you have any problem during application. All right. Thanks for choosing us. And we hope to provide more services in the future. Congratulations that you own a 3D printer now. Thanks for the $5, Vandal. Turn it on. Okay, let's turn it on. I did place the box a bit further to the side just to give the filament a bit more space to unwind. This is at an odd height. Because if you do it underslung, yeah, okay. Let's see. This camera towards the display. That play. Oh, yeah. Most important thing. The manual does not mention this, but I heard some people like to watch. That was unsatisfying. By the way, this knob, kind of dinged up. Well, kind of dinged up. It's like really dinged up. It's like someone drove over it with a truck. Okay, but there's your display. It's actually, display. It looks bigger on the pictures, I believe. Let's quickly compare that. I believe it looked that they've got a picture of a bigger display on there somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh ha. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, there you go. There's your display of what sort of a screen you're getting. And nope. That's what you're actually getting. Picture. Reality. Large screen. So that is come on. Whoops, that was too much. That's photoshopped if I've ever seen a Photoshop. Like, seriously, come on, guys. Guys, that's false advertising. That's illegal. In several states, but thankfully this is China, so whatever. Let's turn it on. We've got the... Oh, do we really need that secondary LCD view in the bottom there? Whatever. Power cord. Let's use the original power cord right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's legal in China. But... Extension cord. I had one. Still have one. And this thing has a switch in case this thing starts catching on fire and it can't get to the original power switch or the power switch on the back. Plug in, will you? There we go. Off. Oh, that's tight. And will it smoke? Find out tomorrow. Cliffhangers. Beep beep. I'm a sheep. Viewing angles? Yes. Okay. Thermistors seem to work. I'm not sure about that claim of quiet printing because it's already noisier than something like a Mark II when it's printing. If there's a separate fan in here that just always spins. Is there something not squared? This thing? It might not be, because these are. So the thing about the CR10 is I think it uses double wide profiles here, so some that are wider, which means it's going to square itself. These are just these smaller ones, so it's much more susceptible to this thing being auto square, and you can see it rocking back and forth. So yeah, quiet printing, definitely not. More fake news there. Let's see, do we have any G-codes on the SD card? Let's just double check that again. Anything else that's like... Yeah, low noise. Thankfully they don't give you decibel values. Long lifetime and low noise motor, working up to 48 hours. Working time up to 48 hours and then what? Then they die? I don't know. Do we have any G-code here? That's always the nicest thing. Test file G-code, big white 1-point box, character, chess, foo. That sounds like something I want to print. This thing sounds like it's ready to take off. No. Does this give me print time estimates? No, it does not, but G-code WS should. Love, okay. Why is it called foo though? Pen holder. 48 hours only, yeah. The power supply is what makes all the noise because of beefy fan. I don't think it does. I think there is a separate, well, I'm sure it does not. There is a separate fan back here that always spins, no matter whether the thing is hot or not. The Hotend cooling fan up here also spins all the time. You can actually hear it spinning up when I put my finger over it. So this thing is always spinning. So there are two extra fans that spin just all the time, and then there's the temperature regulated fan inside the power supply. Those are typically off when the unit is not under load. So as soon as the heated bed turns on, that fan is also going to spin up, so it's going to be even noisier. Simplify? Will you open up for me? Oh, that's a 0 kilobyte G-code, so we're not going to be printing that. Permit chess. But for some reason, there we go. Chess with a character on there. Character box. Nah. And big white looks like it's gonna be printing forever. So, which one of these should we print? I kind of don't want to go into slicing, etc. right now. Oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting, but it's probably gonna take a while. Let's see. That was the big white. The big white character that is not incidentally from a recent movie. I leveled the bed? Nope. I did not level the bed yet. I know I still need to do that. Print time 4 hours. Nope. So I guess it's gonna be chess or something. And pen holder, unfortunately, that sounds like fun, but it's a 0 kilobyte G-code file, so I don't think that's going to be printing anything. So, yeah. Okay. Chess piece. Big white in vase mode. Yeah, I'd have to set up a slicer. Should I set up a slicer? I guess I could. You tell me. Should we print one of the sample parts? Should we print one of the things that are on the SD card, or should we quickly create a profile in SlickVR that is based on the... I got this rotated all wrong. That is just based on the Prusa profiles, because those are pretty good and pretty universal. You tell me. Benchy? Maybe nice scratches? Yeah. I have a young dog. They do that. Print sample, Benchy sample. Set up SlickVR. Benchy. Okay, Benchy. Frog. Frog is a good idea, but I keep printing frogs, so... Right. The one thing I'm kind of bummed out about is that there might be... Before I say anything wrong, I was going to say that there is no instructions for leveling the bed, but there is. Ooh, there is. Cura 14.07. Like... Big white. Benchy shows you a whole bunch of problems. How long was the Benchy print? 45 minutes? An hour? Roughly? Yeah. Let's do the Benchy. Benchy it is! Because I want to see how well it does. I'm that sort of a sadist. So, installation of Cura. No, we're not going to set up Cura 14.07. And no, we're not going to run some sort of a janky... executable from no threads found. Okay. Yet. I'm not gonna run some janky exe from your SD card. Not when it's from China, not when it's from some off-brand manufacturer. So let's just let that run. What was I gonna do? I was gonna level the bed. Let's see if we can pull that off without USB. Let's just do that on the There's a warranty seal that is already broken back here. Let's see if we can do that just on the LCD, which means I'm gonna rotate around. You're gonna see my back for a while, which I hope is okay. Uses Microsoft Defender? Yeah. Of course. Why would I not? So, what do you see? I guess we don't need the secondary camera, but this no work. This is shit. You know, some of the manufacturers, they just put like a little folded up piece of paper in here because this is too deep in. But like this, you can click it a few times. Now you can. Until you kind of can't because it just butts up against the metal housing right there. So, you're coming off. Prepare. Oh. Why does everyone have to change around their firmware structures? Move 1, move Z, we could just move you up a bit. I guess we should also level this out left to right, just the motors to each other. Let's do that right now. Reset. Beep beep. 3D printer. Who would have thought? Tape. No. Yardstick. Much better. So, how do we level you? I guess from the profile back here, up here, that is 14 centimeters exactly. And you are a bit less, so let's crank you up 14 exactly. Perfect. Again, that is one of the things that you're not going to have to do with the CO10 because it only has one Z-axis spindle, and this the XS excuse me, and this X-axis is just sort of cantilevered against this profile on the side. With two independent motors, especially with the high-pitched screws, you will need to level them out against each other. What I do on the, I don't have a Mark II here, but what I do on the Mark II regularly is I just run the entire X-axis all the way, or the Z-axis, all the way up to the top, let it jam against the end stops up here, and that will sort of take out any misalignment. I actually have that in my G-code, so I run those up all the way and just let it skip for a while, and that's going to level out any inconsistencies. For now, I just did that manually. I just leveled the left and right side. Just something you have to do with independent Z-motor and high-pitch constructions like this. Every now and then. That's that. Okay. Piece of paper. Yes, we have the manual. We can use that. Leveling paper. So, control, where did they put home? Not there. Position. Auto home. Let's see if the end stops work. Does this... Oh yeah. It's another one of those connectors that just falls off. Yeah, that thing is super loose. Still not better. These connectors are just not too great. Okay. But it is at its home position. It didn't go any further than that. It physically cannot. So, do we have a turn motors off somewhere? Motors off? Motors off. Okay. So, first corner right there. Just give it a quick level. Since this has a heated bed, I'm not going to use the original sticker, the original, this guy, Build-Tac, sort of micro polycarbonate typically, structured polycarbonate. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use a magic glue because it kind of I don't like those anyways. I'm going to rip them up in within 1 or 2 prints, and then what? Then you have to replace the entire thing. Is this even doing anything? Oh yeah, because we bent it up so far. So 2 corners right there. Let's do the next one. And I guess you could just bend this into position. You don't have to use the adjustment screws. Let's see. That actually looks kind of good. Yep. And one more. Actually good. So let's double check the center. Maybe a bit further up. On all of them. And then it will stick. Okay. That should be good. That looks okay. So in the corner you should be able to see the distance of the nozzle right there. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I don't know, but let's put the sticker on. Let's just see how well it does. We have one shot. Let's just use it. Paper level. What? Yeah. Is there any other method? Brian Whittle, if you're saying that Bowden tube is far too long, well, if that's the only issue with the printer, then you're pretty well off. This is large enough? Yeah. You get out of here. Oh, just over there. A few tiny bubbles. They're gonna come out. Okay, that went on well enough. Should we get some ethanol? Yes, we should. Use that right before the print. Cool. Now, software. Printer should be ready to go. Printer should be ready to print. I use an app to level it? What? What app? First of all, you're not supposed to level your bed. You're not supposed to use a spirit level for it. You're supposed to tram it. I don't think there's an app for that. Why would you need an app for that? Come on. Anyways. Don't you need to heat the bed before you level it? Yeah, well, the thing is, with a good bed, it shouldn't matter. Actually, a CO10 profile is a pretty good base. With a good heated bed, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't expand or warp. If it warps, well, then leveling is not going to be of much use anyways, or tramming. If it's a bed, if it's a good heated bed, it doesn't really matter. There might be a tiny difference in offsets, but it shouldn't be that much of a deal. These 3mm thick aluminum beds, they are actually pretty decent. These are not going to warp. At least they shouldn't. I've not seen one warp yet. But yeah, the bigger question is, how stiff is this going to be? It looks decent. Usually what you see with these spring type constructions is that it can slide around this this bed on top too much, and as it moves back and forth, it's just gonna wobble all over the place. So, bed shape X. So this is based on the CR10, so this is 220 by 270, so a bit larger than the Mark II. Custom G code, that's it. Extruders 1, yes, extruder 1. Well, retraction, okay, 7mm for the CR10. Yeah. I feel like 15, but that might be grinding through too much film, and 7 is already quite a lot. Let's just see. Let's just go with this. Fire extinguisher time, the motors have run too long. Yeah, 48 hours. Time's ticking. Home, set relative, heat up, and G code. Let's see if it actually has software end stops enabled. If it does not, it's going to just crash itself into the ends of the axes at the end of the print. And 0.4, I think 0.4 is correct. Do we have any indication of what the nozzle is on this thing? Nozzle diameter, 0.4, okay. Looks good. We're gonna go with the 0.15 optimal, the default profile on the Prusa Mark II slicer, and the slick throw profile here with 0.15mm. Really looks fantastic on the Mark II and on most other printers as well. So 3D Benchy. 3D Benchy. That looks huge. AKA the bed looks tiny. If you're wondering why the hell is it slicing so slowly, well, this laptop only has limited processing capabilities. It's only a quad core and it's doing the entire live streaming thing. So, yep, that's the Benchy. I can confirm. I think with the 0.15 it's actually going to print a bit longer than an hour. We'll see if it's even going to be printing for 1 hour. Export G code. 3D Benchy E10, and I'm quickly gonna throw that into gcode.ws just to check it. And there's that. At least add a raft. Why should I? Does he print it without infill? Nope. 226. Oh, come on. That's too long. That is too long. I'm sorry, but that's gonna be like 1 AM for me. I'm not gonna do that. 1 second while I hide my screen from you guys. Tree frog. Tree frog. Tree frog? Tree frog? Oh, that's a shit. That's a G code. There we go. Probably not going to be any faster, but the tree frog also shows you a lot of details. Increased print speed? No, that wouldn't be fair for the printer if you just jerk it out with like double, triple, quad the speed. Let's see, tree frog 45 cut E10, and let's see how long that's going to take. E10, there you go. Gcode.ws is still one of the best tools for just estimating your print times. 156, oh, come on. Because it takes accelerations, etc. into account. And that makes it really, really good at just estimating those times more accurately than many other tools. The Cura 2 and the original Cura estimates are also very good. I don't know how accurate the Simplify 3D ones are, but I think they are. But yeah, exported perfect. So this one should be fairly fast, and we still have the SD card plugged in right there. So Windows, don't do this to me. Don't you do this to me? Okay, fresh Explorer window. One second. I'm gonna hide behind chat for a second. What is this thing doing? Come on. Oh, now something happened. Okay, you just missed the progress bar. Okay, it's just that the SD card is like super slow. Okay, USB drive, tree frog, that's there. Let's eject this thing and oh, okay, it's still writing for a 1.5 megabytes drive. Or it's all no, try again. Is it still? Oh, now it's done. Okay, so we learned that the SD card that's included is like really I clicked the wrong button. I learned that the SD card included here is really freaking slow. So yeah, maybe grab a fresh one. I'm sorry, it's a trans flash card, it's a TF card. They've not gotten the memo that these are called micro SD. By the way, good thing that this thing was set to what? 220. Hold on. So there is a switch for 110 to 220 volts here, but there's nothing in it. Oh, there is something in it. It looks like there's nothing in there, but I think there's a switch just all the way in there that you can barely see. So, not the best design. Just gonna say it like that. Right. All nice and clean. This is a Printer Pro Printer Clean, which is isopropyl alcohol in a spray bottle. Simple, it works. Didn't cost me anything, so I'm gonna use it because it's convenient. No SD card. Initiate SD card. Change SD card. I don't know why these cheap printers always need you to initiate or reset the SD card when you plop one in. All the other ones, or the better printers, you just plop in the SD card and it automatically detects it and loads it. Tree frog. Let's go. So that's the home. Should stop right there, and then it should heat up. Hopefully. Told me I had to switch the voltage. I didn't. Cool. What print speeds am I going to print with? Kill Defender? Oh yeah, by the way, for anyone asking about Defender, 5,621,000, that Cura 14.06 install file, 0 threads. That's good. Looks like the PC needs some mods too. I mean, it's just a quad core. I mean, it's live streaming does use up a bit of resources. Well, take it easy. Take it easy on the little guy. Print speeds, yes. Print speeds, default, so the exact same ones that the Mark II is printing at, so that is 60 millimeters a second max, and like 25 for externals, 30 for top solid infill. So somewhere around probably an average 45-ish millimeters a second overall. But of course also tuned with the accelerations for the individual sections of your print. So same conditions for everything. Why not the simple 20 by 20 millimeter calibration cube? Boring. Someone look at that boring dude in the shit. Someone look at that. I mean, why would I print a cube? It's literally the worst print you could do. What does it tell you? It doesn't tell you anything. One thing I can tell you is that the heated bed is actually really slow. So it's set to 55. I think you should be able to see that. It's at 55. Hold on. I can double tap on this thing too. But I can't scroll down far enough. It's set at 55 and it's currently at 48, 49. So it's, again, just like the CO10, it's not a super high power bed. It is going to take a while to reach like 80 degrees, and 80 degrees or something might even be the max already. So ABS maybe with a few tricks, but probably not the best material for this printer. PTG might work. Just looking at the speeds of how quickly it heats up, PTG might work, but the more high temp biased materials probably will give you a bit of issue. Should I cut the tube? Well, it's not my job to cut the tube, it's Anet's job to give me a tube with a proper length, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, I use Linux, haha. Manual placeable supports in Slick Therapy Prusa Edition? What? Did I miss that? Holy crap. That's gonna be the death of Simplified 3D. I'm excited for that. More stuff for more features for everyone without the paywall. That's great. Use Threadripper, yeah, as soon as you can get it in the laptop. Bum 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 bum. Chat is moving too fast. Holy crap. How far away is the fire extinguisher? It's not how far away it is. It's not been tested for, I think, the last 10 years. We should get it tested, aka we should get a new one. Just with the stuff under here. So let's see. Heated bed is hot 55. The Hotend is heating up. We're at 215. Well, it's set to 215 default temperature for PLA on the Prusa's profile. I don't know how hot or how cold this Hotend prints. It might be biased towards a colder temperature. So, you know, from printer to another, just from the tolerances of the entire assembly, from your thermistor, etc., you are going to see differences of, I don't know, 10, 15 degrees or more. Where's the lever? Right there. So, just as a safety precaution, etc. measure, 215 should work. It's relatively hot. This stuff is rated from 190 to 220, 210, 220, 215. Oh, it's even recommended for 215. Okay, but I know it prints from 180-ish to even to a bit hotter than 215. So we are too low. So hold on. Like that. Getting filament? Yes, we are. Okay, the
Don't spend it all on beer.
there we go. Yeah. looks like the sheet actually added quite a bit of thickness. So too high, and of course the long and sloppy Bowden tube doesn't really create any pressure, and that would lift the hot end up and squeeze out filaments, so it just didn't extrude anything. So we might need to restart this. Let's see, and of course the retracts are slowing it down quite a bit, but it's looking like it is sticking down rather well. Yeah, it should be okay, should be okay. It's a heated bed. It is using the BuildTak clone surface, so it should stick rather well. And it's PLA, so... So did they test the Hotend with yellow filament? What? Nope. Close-up of the Hotend, please. Yeah, I hope that's as close-up as you can get it. So the motors themselves are actually not that noisy. They are tuned to a rather low current, it seems. So the main source of noise right now is actually the box right here, the power supply and electronics box, and the fan on the Hotend. Everything else, the printing itself is quite quiet. So, right. Please do ripple test. Yeah, so the thing also is these belts, holy crap, that is nasty. These belts right there. So you can see that they are not very tight. So these belts are just, I don't know if they're just crap belts, because I've not seen glossy belts like this before. It might be a different type. Might be some cheap polyurethane, I have no idea. But they're also not tightened very well. So you are going to get a lot of ringing artifacts unless you tighten these, and it looks like the way to tighten this is to actually open up these two screws, slide out this entire arm right there, because this is just in the groove of the aluminum profile. You slide out this entire thing, you hold it in place under tension, then you tighten this back down, which is not great, to be honest, because you don't get like any adjustment. The only adjustment is how hard you press on this thing as you screw it down. It's not great. What I prefer seeing is like some sort of screw that just pushes this thing out. I don't know, but people are going to print, or people are going to make upgrade parts for this that have some sort of a tensioner in them. So, well. Focus. Yeah, first layer wasn't perfect, but that's okay. Pauses a lot. The pauses are actually maybe you can see it from the top. Maybe not with a resolution. The pauses are actually the retracts on the extruder motor. It looks like they've actually set a quite low speed limit on the extruder gear right here, or on the extruder motor. So every time it pauses, it undoes the filament a bit, pulls it back, and then it moves the head, and then it pushes it back in. So that's every time, right now. In, out, in, out. It's all these tiny retracts that slow the print down a lot. What filament am I using? I am using the Dust Filament Tom's 3D Infinity Blue in its finished version. It is a metallic... Let's zoom in a bit more. It's a metallic particle-filled sky blue that is exclusive. Well, exclusive. It's a filament I managed to make with Dust Filament. So we went back and forth. I was like, hey guys, like, could you make me a filament that is like my color and I want it to glitter? And we did a few test runs, etc. Just watch the most recent video. I talk about that there. We did a few test runs and settled on this, and I really like the color. I really like how it came out. It has the glitter particles in there. It's a nice blue. It's a color you're going to be printing with. It's not something that's going to sit in the corner. And like if you've seen the what are they? Filamentum. Yes, if you've seen the Filamentum filaments, this is pretty much the same effect with the particles in there, just with a blue base. This machine has MOSFET included. What are you talking about has MOSFET included? Where are you guys getting the idea of MOSFET included as a quality feature? MOSFET included is another kludge. It's like saying, oh yeah, just increase retraction because the Bowden tube is crap. No, MOSFET included is a it's a hack. Just use a decent MOSFET on the board. No, MOSFET is not something that is, you know, an indicator of bad quality. It might even be an indicator of good quality. Like, guys, I feel like I have to make a video about this. Lego Lead is asking, do glitter particles, oh sorry, that is Lego Litho3T. Do glitter particles wear down the nozzle like other particle fill filaments? No, they do not. I believe they are aluminum aluminum particles, which are softer than your brass nozzle, so I don't think they will be wearing down your nozzle at all. Turn that off. At least I've not had an issue there. Where's my shop helper? She's upstairs on the couch. It's amazing how fast you get accustomed to having a dog on the couch. So yeah. Yeah, Jetman's pointing out, yeah, the Prusa i3 Mark II does not have a MOSFET, as in a separate MOSFET from the board. It just has a quality MOSFET on the board. That is correct. Neither does the Sigma, nor the Ultimaker, nor Zortrex machines, nor any other quality machine. It does not need that extra MOSFET because the one that's on the board already, and these printers also have a MOSFET on the board, but you know, a quality board doesn't need it. The crap boards need them because they're gonna catch on fire otherwise. How about a MOSFET in addition to a quality board? Is that a good thing? No, it is not, because the quality board already has a good MOSFET on it. Why would you make that redundant? It's like, I don't know. Oh, which sister are you asking? Which helper are you asking about? What's Stephen drivers? So the board supposedly again is the same as the Anet E6 and E8. Whatever's in there, I guess. Right. Print is lifting. Print is fine, that's the overhang. MOSFET to ramps. Well, the ramps used to be a good board. Just saying, the ramps used to be a really nice board while it was still made by Ultimachine. But then the attacked, whatever it is. Ramps used to be a really good board. Now it's just the cheapest stuff you can get. So now the ramps is like the, you know, the equivalent of like your lowest and crappiest board you can get. So, well, how do I think the Anet E10 stacks up? How do you think the Anet E10 stacks up against the CR10? So far, from what I've seen, again, this is not a review, this is just my live impressions of the E10 and the CR10. I've used it for a few prints. Now the CR10 just for regular stuff. They're both not perfect machines. From what I have seen so far, they're both definitely not perfect machines. Though, for the low amount that the CR10 is, you know, costs more than this one, the E10, you are getting so much more 3D printer. You're getting a better construction, you're getting a better frame, you're getting, you know, guides that actually run on something proper. and it's much easier to set up. So far the CO10 beats this thing easily. So unless the CO10 just starts burning down within like the next few weeks, I would say the E10, even though right now it is printing, and even though right now, you know, it looks like it's something that works, I would definitely recommend the CO10 versus the E10. Michael Davis has taken that to the next step. i3 Mark II or CO10, which one is better? Mark II, hands down, easily. But then again, it is also at least 50% more expensive, depending on when and how you buy the CO10. And it's also smaller. It just depends on what you are looking for. If you can live with a Chinese printer that is maybe not as bad as some of the other Chinese printers, then the CO10 is a good choice. If you want something that is more robust, more finished, more polished, a more complete package, then the Mark II is definitely the way to go. Does the printer lift the nozzle for travel moves? Yes, it does. It slightly moves it. That is a slicer setting, which is set to 0.2 millimeters lift between the moves. Is it similar to the TiVo Tarantula? I have not built a TiVo Tarantula yet. I don't know, to be honest. More videos about DIY printers? Yes, planned, of course. Yes. CO10 Mini. Oh, I gotta look into that. Right. This a one how i3 Plus? I have no idea. I don't know the i3 Plus. Have not used it. The wheels are already marked. Yeah, they already have the marking on them. Though the X-axis, these wheels right here, they are not going to get marred as quickly as the ones on the Z-axis, because the Z-axis is also loose. Talking about stuff. Yeah, this is loose. This is so 2 loose on this side, 1 tight right there, and tight. Here's the other one. There it is. Tight and tight. Okay, so these 3 wheels are tight, and these are loose, 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 and then tight down here. Which that doesn't make much sense. Doesn't give you a lot of stability. Yeah, a lot of stringing as expected with the janky Bowden tube. The one Z-axis on the TiVo is a major drawback and makes it rather hard to set up and get prints on. So again, the single Z-axis topic, let's demonstrate. There are a few different types of single Z-axis setups. So I guess I gotta move over here. There are good ones and there are bad ones. The good single Z setups either have some sort of cantilever, some sort of pre-tensioning mechanism where it doesn't matter that there's only one side supported, or they're stiff and rigid enough that basically you get a one-to-one translation. So the print about play is still one of my favorite printers. It's getting old, but I just like the way it assembles. I like the way it prints. You can't buy it anymore, and you were never able to buy it in red. I have one of the few limited edition ones. Yay! But this is one of the printers I go to when I want to grab something. You can just lug it around. It's a steel frame. It's like super massive. But it also only uses a single Z-axis. You can probably see it in there. There's the spindle, and there's just nothing on this side. This is just a guide rod. However, the way this is built with this dog bone aluminum shape in here that goes all the way from this side to the other, this thing is like, you know, first of all, it is pretty rigid. It doesn't move anywhere. And also, you know, if it would just be pre-tensioned like that, and it would be repeatable. That's the most important thing. When it moves to position X something, it should always end up at the same height. If that height varies, then you're gonna have an issue. If it doesn't matter how floppy it is, you know, up to a certain level, of course. But like this, if you only have a single Z-axis and the machine is built well around it, then it can work. You know, it will work. The CR10 also only has a single Z-axis and it prints wonderfully. I'm just gonna say the CR10 actually prints impressively well. So there is a difference between, you know, saving costs and making compromises, and saving costs and engineering around that, and using the engineering instead of just throwing more hardware onto it. So yeah, of course, yeah, you're right, the Play doesn't have a wide span, but the CR10 has a wide span, and that works pretty well for for the single Z-axis. So yeah. What is the FR below the 3D logo? What? Linear bearings or T-slot? What do I prefer? Depends. T-slot is like, well, V-slot. V-slot, like open builds V-slot versus linear bearings. Well, linear bearings could be LM8U, but it could also be MGN rails, so the proper linear rails that you see on, I don't have it here, I have it next door, the Atom or the Costal machines. I prefer those over anything. The Hewin, or what's the other brands? Whatever. The proper linear rails, I always prefer those. V-slot can also work if you set them up right, if you like give users the option to tension them. But LM8U or LM something UU, most of the time they're also just gonna work. So depends on what you what you're going for. Do I think that the E10 is just a copy of the CR10? Let's put it again. Let's put it this way. I mean, it should be fairly obvious what they were going for. I mean, if I could grab the CR10 from next door and just put it next to it, and you'd be, if you didn't know exactly what each machine looked like, you'd be hard pressed to tell which one was which. Of course, size and all, but it's obviously made to look like a CR10 because the CR10 is getting pretty good reviews, and Anet is trying to capitalize on that, which makes sense. It's not just a copy because it is built differently. There are many changes in the designs and the components and details that make this a vastly different printer from the CR10. So yeah. And Douglas Roberts is asking, will Patreon subs have a different way to get your filament? It's just pre-ordering it on DAS's store. Yes. Kind of. Mostly. So, what I'm gonna do on Patreon, so I don't think this makes sense to tell you guys right now, because if you're watching this, then there's no point or no way to get in. My longest Patreon supporters, those that have been around for the longest time, at a certain pledge level, you guys will get a survey soon. I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, but now it's happening. You guys will get a survey soon. You'll get either a filament or a t-shirt, or I don't know, something else. What was it? Yeah, filament or a t-shirt. You get the survey emailed to you, where you get to pick what you want. You can choose whether you want the filament or a t-shirt, and you'll get those for free. I'll ship those out at my own cost because I really appreciate your support there. And I think the lower tier patron supporters, I'll just send out stickers to pretty much everyone. Well, almost everyone. How many people are on there? We'll see. But yeah, patrons will get a lot of stuff for free just for your support, because I really value it. So hope that answers that. Right. Oh yeah, Mr. Streetman, this print would look much better if the carriage was tightened, Bowden tube cut to proper length, and Z-axis drive properly adjusted. Yeah, of course. It would also look a lot better if Anet did a proper job on their side on those things. You know, why should that be my job? Why should that be something the customer has to do if they could do it right from the factory? Because it is already assembled. It is assembled. It's not like a full kit. Is it basically safe? I have no idea because it uses the same electronics. So whatever flaws the A8 would have with fire hazards, etc., this one I think might have as well. Won't the constant Z-hop misalign the one side of the horizontal carriage? No. Also, this one has dual drive, so it has 2 Z-axis drives, so that doesn't matter, and the Z-hops also should not matter. Yes, thank you, mods. Oh, drinking experience, oh yeah. By the way, for anyone asking, oh, why is slow mode enabled on this chat? Yes, slow mode is enabled on chat because some people just like to spam a lot, but it's 5 seconds between messages. So every 5 seconds you can type something out in that. I doubt you're gonna have something valuable to say every 5 seconds. So shouldn't matter to most of you, I hope, but it's just gonna keep it a bit more civil. What made you try this printer? The hype made me try this printer. And the Twitter also kind of made me try this printer. Overhangs. So again, what you need to keep in mind here is that this is a tiny frog. So that's my pinky right there, which is just the smallest finger on my hand. Let's put my thumb next to it. This frog is pretty small. So if we zoom out a bit, it's not going to look quite as bad, but obviously it's not the nicest print I've ever seen. Nice flip-flops. Again, for anyone commenting on my flip-flops, these are professional ESD safe Birkenstock. This is professional footwear. I got these when I was still working as an electrical engineer. This is the footwear you wear as an engineer. Literally, everyone was wearing them where I worked. They were company issued too. We got those for free. So you don't get to make fun of those. What, I have big hands? No, I don't. Well, it does. If I hold them up, it's not going to give you a scale. But these are relatively stubby fingers. So yeah. Am I wearing? Oh yeah, I'm even wearing the white socks, the Linus Tech Tip socks. Sure. What am I doing now as a job? You're watching it right now. This is my full-time job now. I get up in the morning and I do YouTube. What's my nicest print? It might actually be up on the wall there. Where did it go to fall? Shit. Haribo 3030 mod for Prusa i3 Mark IIs. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea what that is.
Buy MOSFET on me.
Was that doing the text to speech? No clue. Cool. Bum, 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 bum. I had something in chat that I wanted to read out, but it was moving too fast. I'm sorry. Hardware low poly, yeah. What other printers will you do live? So right now queued up are the Anet E10, Anet E10, as a lot of people have been requesting. Child in time. No, it is not Saturday. It is Sunday. Set your alarms for tomorrow because you will be at work. Yes, so the Anet E10 that is queued up. We also have where did where's that server? Anet E10, we have a TiVo Tarantula. We also have the Tiny Boy 2 as a, I don't know if it's a clone or if it's like an official version, but we do have the Tiny Boy 2. What was the other one? Crap, I had one more. I'll have to look it up, but we've got plenty of printers queued. And we did miss a donation. Mitchell Hirsch donated €6. Buy a MOSFET on me. Oh yeah, the printer bot's small. Thanks. Buy a MOSFET on me. Well, we'll see if this printer needs it when it burns down.
A video on how to install external MOSFET would be great.
When it burns down, we'll see if we have to put a MOSFET in. Thanks for the $5, Arnaud. A video on how to install external MOSFET would be great. I actually did one of those, or kind of already. I did one on MOSFETs in general. If someone wants to pull up the link real quick, that would be great. But I did a video on how to choose, install, etc. MOSFET, but that was more to the bare bone components, actually using the MOSFET itself and not like some sort of MOSFET board. But yeah, text-to-speech is on. I know. So yeah, ever considered making a 3D printer completely from scratch? That's going to be a lot of work, but yes, I have, and I actually have done that. I have made a 3D printer complete from scratch. That guy, it's the video that auto-plays when you open up my YouTube channel. This guy right here, the Sir Briss Reborn, this was planned as a completely different machine. But that is one that I designed, built, sourced, everything from scratch. Every single part of that is designed, catted by me. So yeah, it's not a printer I'd advise anyone building. It's not a great design, but it was a great experience just doing all the CAD work yourself and, you know, figuring out every single detail. It's a lot of work too. It's good fun. Do you have plans on testing the cheap one? How SLA printer? Yes, I will do that live as a as a follow-up. I'm not sure if the quick follow-up video is going to stay up on this channel or if it's going to migrate to the Tom's 3D Live channel once it's done. We're just going to check it out. Am I still doing board reviews like to me? Yeah, eventually, sure. It's looking great. Yeah, there's a bit of fuzziness, dithering, I don't know, noise in it overall. Again, thumb right there. It's a tiny frog. I just wanted to cut down on print time. Is decent. Is decent. Is okay. How long till I launch my own printer line? Never. That is something I actually don't want to do. Like, I'm extremely happy that I can limit what I'm doing here to intellectual property, to, you know, virtual goods that I don't have to pack, I don't have to ship, I don't have to source for, I don't have to store, I don't have to provide customer support for, I don't have to do imports, etc., imports and exports. I'm never going to get into physical products. I'm not going to do my own printers. I'm not going to do my own components, filaments. I'm going to have someone else do something if I design something like the filament sensor. I might have someone else produce that and sell that and ship that, but I'm never going to touch hardware. I just don't want to do it. Just don't want to do it. So, yeah. Gonna do benchy next? No! Next up, I will go to bed. Very simple. On the other hand, can I recommend Ultimaker 3 or BCN 3D to print in PVA plus PLA? Yes! The Ultimaker 3 is actually great for that. As is the BCN 3D Sigma R17. Both great printers with a bit of a different focus. People love to pay for physical things though, yes, but there's also work behind that. You also have to pack every single physical thing. You don't have to do it with virtual goods that are ad financed or patron financed, etc. Can you mine Bitcoin with a 3D printer? No, you cannot. But Vega, AMD Vega is coming out tomorrow. Let's see if I can. Oh, look at that! Look at that Bowden tension. Look at that back pressure. Yes, AMD Vega is it's coming out tomorrow. I'll try to snag up one of those. The 60 frames on 4K. That's just eating up my current setup. So yeah, and supposedly that also mines cryptocurrencies quite well. So we'll see. Yeah, so the Bowden setup here is not fantastic. Not particularly fantastic. Okay, but the frog is actually, you know, even though despite the flaws, despite the challenges we faced, despite the challenges we faced in producing this frog, that's going to slowly drift across the frame, we have succeeded. I think the frog actually looks decent for that. So, this frog, right, it has a heated bed, so... yeah, the carriage... Ah! Shit! That's hot! Holy crap, that is... ha! That is properly hot, and that is a much larger heater block than I was expecting. So the carriage is quite loose. Ah! Wow, that was almost electric. Crap. Could I get a blister? Yeah, the carriage is quite loose. The belts are slacky as all hell. The Bowden tube is not great. And this thing is probably not going to pry it off. I'm going to let that cool for a second. Ah! Ow! Ugh, getting goosebumps. Put some aloe on it. It's like, you know, when you really press down hard on a hot object, it's not like a burn. It's more like you took like an iron to it and just rubbed it down and flattened it out. It's like, yeah, it's like that. Okay. Heated bed is hot? No, the heated bed is not the issue. Okay, what was I even saying? Yeah, despite the issues, print quality is okay. It's a print. Let's say that much. Supposedly, when you, or if you spray this stuff with an alcohol water sort of mix, which this stuff is, it should come loose. PI supposedly works with that. Let's just try that. And I'm gonna get my sharpened or ground steel loosening tool. Ah, it's so nice and silent. Not anymore. These guys sharpened or ground spring steel, which is actually quite nice. It's, you know, it just slides under your prints. If I can get an angle. Slides under your print if it, yeah. That's not what I wanted. Camera. Am I too close? Just tell me if I'm too close. You had it. There we go. Okay, these things, you just slide them under your print. And you don't damage anything. Because they are... well, unless it's like really stuck. But this lip right here, this is so fine and thin. I mean, I should probably wait for this thing to cool down. But it's gonna take a while. It's a 3mm thick piece of aluminum. There we go. Cut most of it off. Oh yeah, this is ah, that's good. That is good. Isopropyl. Nice. Ah, so that is nice and cool. Okay, let's have a look at the burn marks. Let's have a look at the print right there. So, top surface, decent. Bit spotty, bit under extruded even. Decent bottom right there. I'd say that's okay. That is acceptable. Because again, keep in mind this is a tiny small frog. This is not a full-size tree frog. This is a reduced-size tree frog. So, yes, this is a reduced-size tree frog. So overall, print quality not too shabby. Not too shabby. I guess a large part of that is just the very conservative print profiles from the Prusa edition Slick 3i slicer. So that usually gives you good results even if you have a machine that isn't super stiff, super rigid, super well set up. But yeah, okay, that's better than I expected. And okay, I mean the filament does help too. The Infinity Blue. Yeah, nope. Oh, okay, because I can't focus any closer, that's why. The Infinity Blue with the metallic particles, that kind of helps to hide some of the flaws. But, well, that's okay. That thumb though, it's like, Okay, and again, keep in mind, this is a tiny frog. This is a really tiny frog. So, you zoom out a bit. It's a small frog, so if I kept zooming in like that, it kind of amplifies the issues. Okay, print quality. Yeah, kind of okay. Kind of okay. Should we turn it off? I guess we should. Nice. Now the only thing left making noise is the laptop fan. That's like the one thing. But yeah, any questions about the machine anymore? Trichloroform, yeah, right. Someone's asking about how does it compare to the Mark II, to the Prusa i3, to the original Prusa i3 Mark II. Well, it's a different class of printer. Personally, I'd be happy paying double the price of this for the Mark II. Well, for the Mark II kit. So again, it's not really comparable. This is a mostly assembled machine. This is a machine that is How long did that take us? I don't know, 2 hours. Let's say if you're not too experienced, it might take you a bit longer to figure out some of the things. But typically, it's probably going to take you less than 2 hours to get this thing running. Prusa Mark II kit build is going to be a bit longer. So if you compare it to the kit, then yeah, but I think really it's different machines. If you're happy with the Chinese version of things, then maybe, but maybe get a CO10 instead. What printer controller does it use? The same one as the A6 or A8. What size PSU? It's a 12 volt 20 amp unit. I'm out of frame. 12 volt 20 amp, so that is a 240 watt power supply. Typical Chinese box supplies, which are usually decent. I've never really had an issue with those. Some people have. I guess there are different qualities to those. The Bowden tube, yes, the Bowden. Why did I leave the Bowden tube that long? Because why did Anet leave the Bowden tube? Why is it my fault? It's Anet's fault that they used a Bowden tube that is the wrong size and that is too long. I didn't pack it like that. I didn't ship it like that. Have I opened the box? Nope. Honey and water. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that people recommend putting on your beds. Hairspray is probably the most civil one of those. I've heard salt, dissolved salt. I've heard sugar. I've heard honey. Though, well, yeah, they might work. I just find it disgusting to spread some sugary stuff on it. Salt I'd be okay with, but sugar, not really. I think that's just nasty. Even if it works, I wouldn't use it. Did I print tethered or via SD? That's through the trans flash card. It's not. They're not calling it an SD card. It is a micro SD card, but they're calling it trans flash. If you're a patron, we'll be able to ask for tips. We do monthly hangouts, and usually I do make it through the question, so that's something that everyone can join, and we have like a group, session. But there is a Patreon tier where you can get one-on-one hangouts with me every month. How do you stop flexible filament from sticking to the MK2's PEI bed? Simple solution. Use glue stick. Smother it on, just get it on there. You can wipe it off with water. Glue stick is your friend when it comes to PET or copolyesters in general, and flexibles will screw up any sort of a stick on bed, whether it's this sort of polycarbonate bed or the PEI bed on the Mark II or other printers. You need a protective coat, whether it's glue stick or Magic Glue or whatever else you're using, 3D lac, printer fix, anything. Put anything on the bed that protects it, and you're gonna keep printing with it with flexibles for much longer. Please make an update with the printer all tuned in. Well, all tuned in, that's gonna take me long. It's a lot of effort. Cool. Right. What was the name of the tool I used to separate? I'm gonna have to get back to those guys. They gave me this at the Sweden 3D printing meetup, and it's Swedish steel. And I can't read this, but it's a tool that is used for screen printing. It's like a wiper edge for pushing paint into printing screens, I believe. And they figured out, hey, this is, if we cut this into size and we round over the edges here, it's an ideal tool for separating parts from a bed. And I've been using that a lot, especially on the permanent printing surfaces like PEI, because it just slides under your print so easily. And it's just nice. I like this a lot. I don't know, Swedish steel. You might be able to Google that. And the edge here, it's not sharp. It's not a sharp edge that is gonna, scratch anything. It's a very thin edge. It's a very flexible, springy edge, but it's rounded. It's a ground edge and not a, not a sharpened. It's actually profile ground, which is pretty awesome. So it's not a razor. It is dull. You know, you can't cut yourself with this, but it still slides under your print. Pretty nice thing. Right. Fuel gauge, not quite. All right. Garlic. Prusa multi-material, yes, when I get one. And when I get to time for one. Good thing this stuff is non-toxic, but it feels so good. Okay, Elizabeth mini clone, what would it cost? The frame alone will probably be quite expensive. All right, that's gonna be it. Julian, should I really block? I'm gonna time you out for that. Like seriously, like boom, goodbye. You can't cut yourself, yeah, as I spray. Right, that's gonna be it for today. Let me know in the comments. I can't really say in the comments because there are no comments yet. Those get enabled once the live stream is processed. Yeah, make up your mind on this thing. If you want to get one, the link is in the description. Personally, from what I have seen so far, which is very limited, granted that is extremely limited what I've seen of the A10 and the CR10. The CR10 I've used for a while, the A10, the E10. The E10 so far, cannot recommend. It's a bit too shoddy, it's a bit too janky to really be something I could recommend. I don't know. I'll keep printing with it. I'll try to tighten up these wheels. We'll see if that improves anything. So far, not quite happy, especially for the price. It is rather expensive. It's a 300 in the grand scheme of things. It's a $300 printer, and like an A8 you can get for even less than that. And I don't think it's much less of a 3D printer. So, yeah. Maybe if you want to use an affiliate link for Gearbest, use the one for the CR10 and not the one for the E10. Just saying. All right, that's going to be it for today. Do you have a list of 3D printing fairs? Yes, TCT next month. If you're interested in there, check that out. E3D or fly me over. So that is much appreciated. So yeah, TCT next month. I will be there. It's going to be good fun. So until then, well, we're going to have another live stream next week and videos and stuff. So yes, thanks everyone for being here. Leave this video a like if you liked it. Leave it a dislike if you dislike the video, not if you dislike the printer. Subscribe. Check out the Prusa Mark II giveaway that's still running. That's still running till Tuesday. You still have a chance to enter. What else? Patreon. If you kind of, you know, just want to say thank you with like a monthly pledge or something, that is also much appreciated. Yeah, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks everyone for being here, and have a nice day, evening, night, whatever time it is, and goodbye.